Welcome to TAGHS True Asian Ghost and Horror Stories, the podcast that delves into the world's most mysterious and chilling tales. Today, we unravel the haunting legend of a cursed book, Room Number 4. This story isn't just another ghost tale. It's a terrifying journey into the supernatural, a blend of dark history, spiritual forces, and the unexplainable. Let me take you to where it all began, a small province in China, where a young and unknown author penned Room Number 4. It wasn't a bestseller across the nation, nor did it spark global fame. But within that small province, it caused a ripple effect, spreading through whispers, curiosity, and a sense of dread. The cover of the book carried a chilling foreword. If you have read this book, it is also the end of your world. I am merely conveying what is in this book, and I ended my own life upon completing it. Yes, the author died shortly after finishing the book, cementing its ominous reputation. What started as intrigue among horror fans quickly spiraled into something far darker. This story begins with a very young writer who created a book about ghosts. The book is called Room Number 4, and it became a bestseller within a small province in China. However, it wasn't widely distributed, so many of you may not have heard of it. The book gained fame not instantly but through various stages, capturing attention over time. The initial intrigue came from the foreword written by the author on the front cover, where they stated, "If you have read this book, it is also the end of your world. I am merely conveying what is in this book, and I ended my own life upon completing it." This implies that the author would die after writing the book and that anyone who reads it is doomed. This mysterious and ominous message sparked curiosity among readers. While most people might avoid such a book, it became particularly enticing to fans of horror and the supernatural. For them, such eerie content was highly intriguing and irresistible, prompting many to purchase the book out of sheer fascination. Initially, people bought this book because it was intriguing and captivating. After reading the first few chapters, they became engrossed, finding it exciting and fascinating. This led readers to search for more information about the mysterious author. The author's writing style was extraordinary, making it feel as if the characters were directly speaking to the readers. Upon further investigation, people discovered that the author had passed away shortly after completing the book, which only fueled the wave of curiosity. This buzz led to word-of-mouth recommendations and widespread sharing on early internet forums, making the book even more sought after. As the story spread, horror enthusiasts were particularly drawn to the book. They wanted to understand why it was so haunting and captivating, as well as the eerie connection to the author's death, which seemed to align with the foreboding message on the cover. Digging deeper into the author's life, readers uncovered another layer to the story. The author wasn't a professional writer but a university student working on a thesis about Asian and Chinese spiritual beliefs. As part of his research, he requested to explore an abandoned prison, which was infamous for its dark history. This prison, home to over 1,500 inmates, had been shut down due to a deadly epidemic caused by unsanitary conditions. The outbreak wiped out not only the prisoners but also the guards, leaving the facility abandoned for decades. Whether the details were true or mere rumors remains unclear, but the prison became a chilling point of fascination. The author visited the site to collect materials for his book, but the place was almost entirely in ruins, with over 70% of it destroyed. Unable to imagine its original state, he sought out any records, photographs, or artifacts that might help reconstruct the prison's history. Stories from those who entered the prison ghost of finding skeletal remains and podcast that delves into the world's most mysterious and chilling tales. Today, combined with the mysterious death of the author shortly after completing his work, Room Number 4, lent the book this story isn't just another ghost tale. It became more than just a journey into the supernatural. It was a chilling exploration, a blend of dark history, mystery, spiritual and the unknown. And the author managed to collect several items where it all behind by the prisoners of this eerie China, where among them was a razor blade used for shaving, carefully wrapped in a plastic across the nation, and an old pen engraved with the words Room Number 4. But within that he also found a stack of documents. It caused a ripple including effect, some remnants spreading through whispers, curiosity, using these artifacts and a sense of dread. He wrote vivid accounts of the horrors and supernatural phenomena that reportedly if you have read this book, in the prison. It is also the one of the most intriguing details. I am merely conveying what is the story of Room Number 4. And I ended my own inmates consistently expressed a deep fear of living near the person died shortly after finishing the book, claiming that this individual was not like the others. The room became a solitary cell for horror fans, special quickly spiraled into isolated from the rest due to the overwhelming terror they caused. Inmates were petrified not only of sharing space with the occupant of Room Number 4, but even of the possibility of them being released from the cell. Fascinated, the author delved deeper into these chilling accounts, pouring all his passion into the story. However, for reasons unknown, he passed away shortly after completing Room Number 4. The mystery didn't end there. Readers of the book began reporting strange occurrences, particularly when they reached Chapter 7, which focused on the prisoner of Room Number 4. Many readers claimed to have recurring nightmares in which they were being followed down a long, cold hallway in a desolate prison. The hallway was lined with iron bars, but no other prisoners were visible. As they moved closer to the end of the hallway, the fear and cold intensified, accompanied by faint, horrifying wails. At the end of the corridor, they would encounter Room Number 4, where they could hear a man's eerie laughter echoing from within. These nightmares often left readers deeply disturbed. Some experienced severe psychological effects, including hallucinations and self-harm. In extreme cases, individuals exhibited suicidal tendencies or self-mutilation. Faced with a growing number of cases, medical professionals initially dismissed the phenomenon as a psychological response to overexposure to horror. They diagnosed these readers with mental conditions triggered by the book's content. Consequently, authorities decided to recall and destroy all copies of Room Number 4 to prevent further incidents. However, as they investigated the book's publication, an unsettling coincidence emerged. Exactly 1,500 copies of the book had been printed, the same number as the prisoners who had once been confined in the ill-fated prison. This eerie parallel only deepened the chilling mystery surrounding the book. Despite efforts to destroy all copies, the process was slow and incomplete. Some people, captivated by the book's infamous reputation, hid their copies to preserve what they saw as a rare and forbidden treasure. Among the small circles of spiritual enthusiasts in China, one surviving copy reportedly ended up in the hands of a renowned spiritual master. When the master touched the book, they claimed to feel the presence of an incredibly malevolent force residing within its pages. This led to a widespread belief among the spiritual community that Room Number 4 was not just a book but a vessel for dark, otherworldly power. The book became the focus of spiritual investigations by masters who used their own rituals and talismans to uncover the truth behind it. They employed spirits and supernatural forces to delve into the dark history of the prison and unearthed a horrifying revelation. In that prison, a particular individual had been confined in Room Number 4, a number associated with death in Chinese culture. This room was reserved for prisoners deemed extraordinarily dangerous. Among them was a single, notorious criminal, a bloodthirsty cannibal and murderer. He was apprehended and locked in Room Number 4, but his monstrous tendencies persisted. The prison's unsanitary conditions, combined with the actions of one infected inmate, sparked a deadly epidemic. In response, the Chinese government sealed the prison off entirely, fencing it in and ordering that anyone attempting to leave be shot on sight. This strategy successfully contained the outbreak, but it doomed the prisoners and guards to a gruesome fate. Isolated and left to fend for themselves, chaos and desperation overtook the prison. Most inmates succumbed to the disease, but the cannibal saw this as an opportunity to indulge in his horrific cravings. He hunted his fellow prisoners, methodically butchering and consuming their flesh. Even the guards were not spared. Eventually, the cannibal himself fell victim to the disease and died, but his vengeful spirit transformed into a malevolent demon. This entity is believed to have infused itself into the very pen that the young author later recovered from the abandoned prison. This pen became the medium through which the spirit narrated its story, using the author to write the haunting book Room Number 4. The demon's goal was to instill terror in those who read its tale and to consume the souls of anyone who reached Chapter 7. The significance of the number 7 tied back to its death on the 7th day of the outbreak, following 6 days of unchecked bloodlust and cannibalism. In Chinese spiritual beliefs, the association of Room Number 4 with death made it a source of fear and dread. The demon, trapped within the pen and the words of the book, was said to bring catastrophe to those who read it. Over time, readers of the book began to experience inexplicable phenomena, particularly at night. Many reported feeling an oppressive presence, as if something sinister was watching them. Some claimed to hear faint whispers, others saw shadowy figures, and a few were driven to madness or even death. The fear surrounding Room Number 4 grew, with some believing that if the book continued to circulate, it would unleash untold disaster. Even though many copies were destroyed, those that remained became the subject of fascination and dread. People who held onto the book reported strange and terrifying occurrences, further cementing its reputation as a cursed artifact. The tale of the demon tied to the pen and its connection to the author's death only amplified the legend, making Room Number 4 a haunting symbol of supernatural horror. The story surrounding Room Number 4 only grows darker with the haunting experiences of those who dared to read it. Many readers reported terrifying encounters after reading the book. Some claimed to see shadowy figures walking alongside them in deserted hallways, while others described horrifying visions of themselves being burned alive in their dreams. There were also accounts of grotesque, slime-covered ghosts with pale, sickly green bodies groaning in agony, lying in bed beside them at night. No one who read the book remained unaffected, and not a single person was able to read past the infamous Chapter 7. Though the book contained 12 chapters according to its table of contents, reaching the 8th chapter seemed impossible. Chapter 7, focused on the cursed occupant of Room Number 4, left an indelible mark on readers. Those who attempted to go further often met with inexplicable misfortunes, such as fatal car accidents. Survivors of such incidents recounted chilling experiences, like seeing rotting, weeping figures seated behind them in their vehicles, causing them to lose control of the steering wheel in sheer panic. In response to the growing terror, some of China's most skilled spiritual masters took to online forums and communities to issue warnings. They revealed that the story of Room Number 4 was not just a work of fiction but rooted in spiritual truths, uncovered through their rituals and use of Yin soldiers, spirits they commanded to investigate the supernatural. These Yin soldiers acted as scouts, entering the prison's dark past and returning with accounts of the horrors that occurred there. Through this method, the masters confirmed the existence of the cannibalistic demon bound to the book and detailed its bloody history. The demon, a monstrous figure even in life, was driven by an insatiable hunger for human flesh. Long before being imprisoned, it had already consumed countless victims. Once confined to Room Number 4, its desires only intensified, and the chaos of the epidemic gave it the opportunity to feast without restraint. Over 6 days, it killed and devoured prisoners and guards alike, until it finally succumbed to the disease on the 7th day. Upon its death, the demon spirit fused with the cursed pen recovered by the young author, ensuring its horrific legacy would live on. The spiritual masters revealed that Room Number 4 contained powerful, malevolent energy, but the exact contents of chapters 8 through 12 remain a mystery. No records, official or otherwise, detail what lies within these chapters, and even Chinese forums avoid discussing them. The first 7 chapters, however, are known to be deeply unsettling, each delving into chilling details about the prison, its cursed inhabitants, and the demon itself. So, what is the truth behind Room Number 4? Is it merely a story, a cautionary tale, or something more sinister, a vessel for a demon's wrath? Next week, we'll delve into chapters 1 through 7, piecing together the haunting details that have left so many readers forever changed. Until then, remember, some stories are better left unread. Thank you for listening to TAGHS True Asian Ghost and Horror Stories. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and comment so we can create even more captivating stories for you.